our boy Diddy is on trial, federal trial, for his crimes. And I'm not here to put a man down, because man down, Diddy down. Diddy is down. Have y'all seen the pictures of Diddy in court? Wow. Wow. It's almost sad to see, right? I know we can't see the federal trial because they don't allow live feeds as a matter of practice. They do not allow live feeds, camera feeds, in federal trials. Okay? Just as a matter of decorum in the court. But we do have, reporters and pool reporters who are reporting for the masses. We've got independent media, which I'm a fan of at this moment. I'm a fan of independent media at this moment, including Don Lemon and Roland Martin Unfiltered, the Black Star Network. Let's talk about Diddy. Y'all drop down in those comments. Let me know. What are you thinking? Because I'm saying man down, man down. The look. Bruh been through some things, right? Can you tell that bruh been through some things in the prison? Yes. Yes. How can a man seemingly on top of the world? It's an humbling thing, isn't it? What lessons can be learned from where Diddy is? And I dare say I'm not like that, right? I don't have no part or affiliation with that, because KendyK, I'm gonna always stay on the right side of the law. There are lessons for all of us to learn, okay? Because we took a man that was seemingly on top of the world, right? Seemingly with all them waves in his hair. Come to find out, he has 4C hair just like mine, right? But he had the ability to put product in his hair that gave him fancy waves. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was all that product that built up that changed the psyche, where we thought we can put hands on anybody. Because not only did, it's alleged, now this is all alleged, it's alleged that Diddy, Puffy, and see, when you got to be careful now. You got to be careful when folks start having a whole bunch of names or pseudonyms, right? Y'all drop down in that chat. This is KendyK all day. I am just going to bring up so I can make sure that I am catching all of your comments. Y'all, good morning. Y'all, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. 5 things that we as a collective need to talk about. Diddy's at the top of the list. We're gonna run through them fast. So stay close. Stay close. Stay with us. Stay close. But let's take a pause to ensure that I am checking in with the family. Cosenado Conbeni, good morning. Sethi is back. Sethi. Thanks for checking in with us this morning. Toddy Twins mom, thanks for checking in. Thanks for being here for the conversation, because we've got 5 things, y'all. 5 things that we need to talk about, and Diddy has made the top of the list. We're already on topic 1, Diddy. Yeah, what Keisha's Motivation and Money Journal. Keisha's Motivation and Money Journal. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to the conversation. Y'all, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm rolling through these this morning really fast. So stay close, right? So what makes a man seemingly at the top of the world get knocked off his feet? Have you ever heard of pride comes before the fall? Pride comes before the fall. Mm, mm. You know how they say in the church? They say, I don't look like what I've been through. Well, baby, when I look at those artist renditions and the few limited photos we've seen of Diddy, because the federal trial, as a matter of federal decorum in the court, we cannot have those news feeds that we are accustomed to, right? So the few photos that we have seen of Diddy while incarcerated, and yes, Diddy is in fact incarcerated. Yeah, they putting him in a suit, okay? But he putting on that suit right outside the courtroom in the lockup. They got they holding Diddy in the lockup, okay? And he gets to change into his suit right before he walks in, right? These are all the accommodations, the pleasantries that are afforded to every criminal, right? Everyone that's on trial, right? The few photos that we've seen, so you don't know, you might not know what I've been through, because I don't look like what I've been through, right? But Diddy, man down. Diddy. Wow. Wow. So I'm gonna go here with you, because because Diddy got more money than all of us put together, right? So he has hired the best of the best attorneys. Okay? So let the trial commence. Cassie. Now that victim, I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her that as she sits, some outlets are reporting that she is due tomorrow. Tomorrow is her due date to deliver her child. My God, today. My God, today. Right? Because what Cassie laid bare on the witness stand yesterday, y'all, it just about took me out. It just about took me out, right? Right? But we talking about Diddy, because this ain't about Cassie. But y'all, let's lift that sister up, okay? And the other victims that will come today and in the weeks moving forward, male and female. Y'all, I'm gonna go here with you, because we got to move on, because we got 5 things, and Diddy is just at the top of the list. We've got other things that we need to talk about. I'm gonna go here. My granny, God rest her soul, she told me this. We were in the car going to town, and I had just begun my first job, my first real job after I graduated college. She said, listen to me now. This is what my granny said. Don't let your night get caught up in your day. What I know for sure is somebody, thank God for my granny, that taught me that, and I've never forgotten it. Don't let your night get caught up in your day. Because what's done in the dark, y'all finish that for me. Drop in the chat and finish that for me. What's done in the dark always comes to the light. So what we see happening in real time on day 3 of Diddy's federal trial is his night activities coming to the light. All the shenanigans, all the tomfoolery that Diddy and his cohorts were doing in the night have now been brought up into the daylight. My granny reminded me, friends, don't let your night get caught up in your day. So that to me is a lesson that we can all take from the Diddy trial. Because I'm not going to take much from the Diddy trial, right? Because, you know, you can't eat from everybody's table. Like Kendrick Lamar said, they not like us. I'm set apart. I stay on the right side of law. Y'all, so I'm gonna leave that alone because y'all know all the things that allegedly Diddy has been accused of. But let's go on. Let's go on to number two. Let's go on to number two because time is short today. 5 things we need to talk about. We just talked about Diddy. He forgot the cardinal rule, right? The Bible says, and I ain't trying to force Bible on nobody, but let me just tell you what it says, in case you don't know it. The Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain this whole world and lose his soul? KendyK's grandmama used to always say, whatever you do, don't let your night get caught up in your day. And we're moving on. We're moving on. Number 2, on a more serious note, and this affects all of us, measles, the communicable disease, measles, okay, is on the rise in the United States. Measles is back in the United States. So it's important for us to talk about that for just one moment. Just one moment. Let's talk about measles. Because it can affect you and your children. So let's be clear on that, okay? First of all, make sure your children are vaccinated. These are the recommendations of the World Health Organization, otherwise known as WHO, the World Health Organization, and in this country, the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, highly recommend that you as an adult and as a child be vaccinated for measles. And that vaccination series is called the MMR, right? So make sure that you as an adult and your children and grandchildren have been vaccinated for the MMR. Y'all, I don't care nothing about what you believe about vaccinations and inoculations, okay? Y'all, measles is on the rise right now in this country, okay? So, okay, while we around here watching all these YouTube videos and TikToking and all of this, okay, measles is on the rise in this country, okay? So, we need to know the signs and the symptoms, okay? First thing you need to do to ensure measles does not affect you and your loved ones is we make sure that we're vaccinated. Most people who get their vaccinations and your children who get their vaccinations and are up to date on their vaccinations, it's the MMR, okay? You need the MMR, which stands for measles, mumps, and rubella, okay? You need that series of vaccinations, right? So check your health record and check your local health department, okay? If you need to get an update on your MMR or your children have not yet been vaccinated. Most children have, right? But I'm here to tell you, measles is on the rise in the United States, right? Today is May the 14th, 2025. Measles is on the rise in the United States. So what are the signs and symptoms, okay? Signs and symptoms of measles. First, you're going to have an onset 2 to 5 days before the rash appears. We'll talk about the rash in just a second. 2 to 5 days before the rash appears, you're going to have a spike in fever. Okay? I'm talking about to as much as a 105-degree fever. Okay? You're going to have a high fever 2 to 4 days before the onset of the rash. And then the biggest visible sign of measles is the rash, right? Blister-like bumps that start at the crown of the head and move down the body. Covered in the blisters, the measles bumps, okay? Telltale signs of measles, okay? So be looking for those symptoms. Y'all, it's best to, if you must be in crowded places, it's best to be out of doors, okay? In a similar manner with COVID, and COVID is still out here. Y'all, don't you believe the hype now. COVID is still here, okay? And it's going to be here, okay? Now, what's troubling in this country is that, did y'all know the United States is no longer a member of who? The World Health Organization, which means we are no longer plugged in with other civilized, industrialized nations to share what we are learning and what we know about all of these diseases, infections, research, all of that. Y'all, these are strange times. Watch and pray and make preparations. Yeah, that part. Y'all, thank you. Thank you for plugging in, because there's some things that we need to just come to the kitchen table and talk about. Good morning. Good morning, Liliana. Nuestra familia. Nuestra familia. And y'all, Liliana, I know I am not doing good justice at all to the name of your channel. Her name stands for Humboldt family in the translation to English. Just Janice Journeys is with us. Thank you for checking in, sister. Tidy Twins mom, thank you for checking in. Y'all, measles is on the rise. Measles is on the rise. Measles is on the rise. Now, we've already addressed Diddy. So if you missed Diddy, Diddy was on the top of the list of the 5 things that we need to talk about. Ronnie, welcome in, friend. Welcome in, friend. Tuscan Damas, welcome in. Welcome in. Keisha's Motivation and Money, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in to this conversation. We're talking about 5 pressing topics for the week. KendyK does this. KendyK comes to the kitchen table and we just talk about what's really going on here. What is really going on here. And if you haven't picked up, y'all, especially in the United States, there's some things going on. There are some things going on. Here's topic number 3. How can you receive a plane as a gift and it not be a conflict of interest? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Anything given like that for free cannot be free for real. Right? Right? Y'all, that's the equivalent of giving somebody a luxury vehicle and say, hey, it's just a gift. Do you actually think, I think they're playing in our face. In fact, I know they're playing in our face. Do you actually think that they're not going to want something in return for giving you a whole plane? They playing in our face, y'all. They playing in our face. And when are we as a collective group of American citizens going to demand that our elected officials stand up and say enough is enough? Y'all, that was 3 things. That was 3 of our 5 things. Y'all, if you don't agree, it's okay, because this is America and this is a democracy. So drop down in those comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Christina, welcome in. Welcome in, Christina. I see you. I see you. Liliana, Nuestra Familia, I see you. Welcome in. Tidy Twins Mom, I see you. Ronnie, I see you. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. 5 things that we need to talk about. We've already covered 3. First up was Diddy. And then number 2, measles is on the rise. Make sure you and your children have your measles, mumps, and rubella vaccination, the MMR, okay? It starts, be on the lookout for these symptoms, 2 to 5 days before the rash. There's going to be a very elevated fever, okay? As high as 105 degrees. Now we know if you have a temp of 105 degrees, you can literally start seizing at 101 degree temperature. So we really got to be on our P's and Q's for this. And then you're going to see a rash. The rash is going to start at the crown of the head and move down the whole body. Okay? A rash with blisters. Okay? Moves down the whole body. Y'all, share with your friend groups, your networks. Measles is on the rise in this country. And the difference now, see, we had overcome measles as a country due to vaccinations. Now we have elected officials and appointed officials in our grand government who thought it was appropriate to withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization. From who? So we're no longer plugged in as a united country, the United States of America, with other industrialized nations, sharing research, sharing the best way to prepare the immunizations. Right? We're no longer plugged in, because that was one of the first things they did in these first 100 days in office, is withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization. What in the what? Serene, in the making. Welcome to this conversation. Y'all, I have to go, but I'll be back. We've covered 3 things. I owe you 2 more. I'll be back. Keep checking in. Y'all, watch and pray and make preparation. Goodbye for now. Goodbye for now. I'll be back. We got 2 more things.